In today's video, I'm going to show you how to take your AT&T UVerse box and hook it up to your computer instead of your TV so that you can use your computer to watch TV or to even record things off of your TV. Now you might be sitting out there saying, now why in the world would I want to do this? For me, it's nice because I have all of my channels right there on my computer. If you've used the AT&T UVerse app, you realize that you don't get half of the channels on the app. And then if you want to go watch the History channel or something like that, you have to go to the individual websites. You don't have to do that. You can just plug in your box to your computer and you've basically got your TV right there on your computer. First, let me say it's going to cost you $15 to $20 to be able to do this. There's a piece that you're going to need to buy. There's also a software that you're going to need to download. The software is totally free. I'm going to walk you through how to use that, and I'm going to show you the piece, and I'm going to put a link to it in my video. You can shop around. You don't have to buy the one that I show, but it's the one that I recommend because it's the one that I'm using. So let's look at our UVerse box. I've got a box here. I've got two things plugged into it. That's it. One of them is my power supply. This cord is running to my wall outlet. It's giving the box power. The other thing is just a simple HDMI cord. The HDMI cord is running from the box to my TV. What we're going to do is we're going to leave these two plugged in. We're going to unplug the box from our wall, and we're going to unplug the HDMI port from our computer, and we're going to take this setup. We're going to put it next to our, from our TV. We're going to take our box, we're going to take these cables, we're going to go hook it up near our computer. Okay, so I've brought my box up by my computer. You can see here's my laptop, and then here's where I have my cable box. It's just sitting directly under my laptop. Just like we looked at before, I've got the power supply to the box plugged into a wall, and I've still got my HDMI cord plugged into the box. The gadget that you have to buy that I said is going to cost you $10 to $30 or so is this thing here. It's called an HDMI video capture card. I got mine off of Amazon. Again, I will put a link to it in the description of this video. You can shop around, you can buy from whatever seller you want to. When we look at this, you've got an input, you've got an output. The output is a USB end, the input is an HDMI in. A lot of people think, well, can't I just take my HDMI cord and plug it into my computer? You can't. You have to have this, and I think it's because you have to have an input into your computer versus an output. I think the HDMI port on your computer is an output. Could be wrong about that. I just know this is going to work for you if you follow the steps. All we're going to do is we're going to take our HDMI cord that's connected to our box. We're going to plug it into the input on this video capture card. Now I've got a USB in here, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to plug it in to the USB port on my computer. Now we need to get on the computer. We need to go download a free software called OBS Studio. Okay, so at this point you should have your AT&T UVerse box plugged into a wall. You should have the box turned on, and then your HDMI cord should be connected to the HDMI video capture card, and the video capture card should be plugged into your computer. What we need is a software that can read that input. So you've got it plugged in, but your computer doesn't know it's there. It needs to have something that connects it. The one that I recommend is called OBS Studio. It's open broadcast software. It is a free open source software for streaming and recording. If you're not familiar with it, most of your YouTubers that do video games and stuff like that on YouTube, they're using OBS Studio. The website is obsproject.com. I'm not affiliated with them. You can search for other different softwares. The one thing I will say is do not pay money for a software. There are plenty of free softwares just like OBS Studio that you should be able to use. I like OBS Studio because you don't need an account to use it. There's not a free or a paid option. It's just a single download, same for everybody. Now, one of the questions I get a lot of times is, can I do this for Windows as well as for an Apple device? You can download OBS Studio to either a Windows or an Apple device. I have never tried doing this process on an Apple device, though. I only have done it on a Windows device. So in this case, I would recommend downloading it to a Windows computer. If you want to try it, if you're an Apple user, go for it. You can always uninstall the software if it doesn't work. So you're going to download OBS Studio. I've already got it on my computer. Once you've got it downloaded, we simply need to click on OBS Studio and we need to run the software. Now when it comes up, it should look like this for you. Again, you don't have to create an account. You don't have to do anything. There's no sign in or anything like that. The first thing I would recommend doing is click on File, Settings, Output, and you want to look at this recording section down here. there's an option here that says recording path. Now, you do not have to record what you're watching, but if you happen to be watching TV or your DVR and you want to record, get a file of a recording from what you're watching, this path is going to determine where that file will be saved on your computer. You can click on browse, you can choose any path you want to, but one of the questions I get a lot is, hey, I clicked record, it said it recorded, where's the video file at? This path is going to determine where that video file is located at. The other thing you can do is you can change things like your recording format. Maybe you're somebody who wants .mov or MKV files instead of MP4. You can change all that stuff right here. So just something of note just to check out. Let's go ahead and click OK. What we need to do is create a source to recognize our cable box. If you look under sources, for me, I've got a source called Links 386. I've got a source called VCR. I've done a video in the past that walks you through how to use this process to connect your VCR to your computer so you can watch your old VHS tapes. That's what these sources are here. In your case, since you just downloaded OBS Studio, you should not see any sources listed. We need to add a source. There's a little plus box down here. We're going to simply click on that. And then you're going to have a listing of all the different sources you can add. The one that we are looking for is video capture device, because that is what our video capture card is. It's going to come up and say, hey, do you want to add this to an existing source or do you want to create a new one? We're going to do create new. It gives you the option to rename it. You can leave it video capture device or you can name it anything you want. I'm going to call mine UVerse. You're going to want to make sure the box for make source visible is checked. It should be checked by default, and we're going to simply click OK. Now we need to tell it where is this source, what is the device of this source. You're going to click on the drop down. Now you might see a few different things here depending on what all you have plugged into your computer, but the one that you're looking for is USB video. When you click on that after a couple seconds, you should see your UVerse, because now all of a sudden it's seeing our AT&T UVerse box. All I'm going to do is I'm going to simply click on OK here, and now I've got my remote in my hand. You're not seeing that, but I'm going to simply point the remote to my UVerse box, just like if I was in my bedroom on my TV and I'm watching UVerse. I can click on guide, and I can change the channel. I've got every one of my channels right here on my computer, and I've essentially turned my computer into a TV. Now you're probably sitting there saying, hey, that's great, but I'm not hearing anything. How do I listen to it? By default, it will not be set to where you can listen to it, but if you look down here in the audio mixer, you can see a bunch of different things. There's my VCR connection, here's my UVerse one, here's mic and auxiliary, here's desktop audio. In my case, I can see that mic and auxiliary is hearing something. So if I be quiet for a second, you'll see that there's still sound coming through there for some reason. I can tell that that is what is reading my AT&T UVerse. If you want to, you can click on settings and you can go to audio. All of these here are going to be your audio devices. Sometimes you might have to click and play with these a little bit and make adjustments in order for you to be able to hear it on your computer. But in my case, I can tell that the mic auxiliary is what is reading my UVerse. If I click on these three dots out to the side and I go to advanced audio properties, again for mic auxiliary, by default it will be set to monitor off. What monitor off means is I can see it, there's sound there, but I can't hear the sound. If I change this to monitor and output,
and so Tegan was like,
we can now hear our TV.
Home. And I was like, okay, yeah, sure. Y'all, Tegan owns.
The only reason it's kind of nice, just so you know, the option for monitor off is pretty slick in the event that you're doing work and you want to be recording something on UVerse, but you don't want to be listening to it while you're recording it. That's where monitor off is kind of a nice feature. It will still record the video, it will still record the sound, but you don't have to listen to the sound while it's playing. So that's a good example of why you would use monitor off. I think in most people's case they would probably use monitor and output because they want to see as well as hear whatever it is that they're watching. So basically, I've turned my computer into a VCR. I've turned my computer into a TV as well as a VCR. So I'm sitting here watching my TV. What if I wanted to record something? Let's go to actually a recording of mine. Oops. Let's go back and let's find something. Okay, here's the news from last night. Let's say I wanted to record this. Let's say this is my wife and she's on the news. I want to get a copy of this recording. I'm going to rewind it. Well, I can simply click start recording over here. And now not only am I watching it and listening to it, but I'm also creating an audio file of it that is going to get saved on my computer, so that if I switch cable providers or if I lose power and my DVR gets wiped out, I still have a copy of this video. So I'm going to go ahead and click stop recording. And I'm going to go ahead and pause this. This is where that output that I showed you earlier comes into play. If I go back to settings and I go to output, that video file should be over here on my D drive in a folder called From OBS. So I'm going to go ahead and just click OK. I'm going to close OBS Studio. At this point, I've watched my TV. I've recorded what I want to. I'm going to go on my computer. I'm at my D drive. There's a folder called From OBS. I double click it. I'm going to sort by date modified. This latest video file, which is on a different monitor. Let me move it over. Let me double click it. This is the video file that we just got from my AT&T Uverse DVR, and now I've got a file on my computer that I can email, I can put on an external hard drive, I can load on YouTube, I can do whatever I want with it. Pretty simple stuff. The one thing I did want to show you is, since we've got everything connected now if I go simply open OBS Studio, it will remember the source that I created before. So if you remember, before I had Links 386 VCR, now I've got this other one, Uverse, that's still there, and my Uverse is still connected. I don't have to go back through and redo all my settings, all of that stuff. Now, in the event that you unplug your cable box and go put it back on your TV, when you plug it back in, you might have to do things like repower it, things like that, but your source should be there and it should always read what your Uverse was. Anyway, it's pretty simple stuff. If you've got questions, post them in the comments. Be happy to help you out. I don't like to ask for subscribers, but if this video helped you in any way, I do hope that you'll do a thumbs up at the bottom. It really helps my video get out there and help other people that are trying to do the same thing. Thanks for watching.